All right, Joe, here comes your today's grammar lesson. I think I'm gonna do these first five comma commandments that I teach because I do think commas are one of your biggest issues. I'm also going to point you to a YouTube channel where I've got other videos that do other things. But first, since you've asked for some extra grammar teaching, I'm just going to do these first five comma rules, and then in the next day or so, if you can send me two sentences. Let's do this. Why don't you send me a paragraph of writing and use each of these types of sentences in the paragraph to prove that you know how to do it. All right, so here's the first one. Here's comma rule number one. Wait a minute, I have the wrong sheet up here. Here we go. Here's comma rule number one. All right, unnecessary added information has to be set apart by commas. So here's an example. Here's the sentence. Okay, Mr. George is teaching commas today. That's the sentence. Now here's some extra information right here that I want to put inside of the sentence. And this is, I'm going to move me right there so I can look at myself when I talk. So if you want to put extra information inside of a sentence, again, the sentence is Mr. George is teaching commas today. Okay, that's the sentence. But I wanted to add in there that I'm seated in the green chair. It's unnecessary. It's added information. Helps the sentence, makes the sentence a little bit different. If you do that, you must set it apart by commas. So this sentence right here, Mr. George seated in a green chair is teaching commas today, grammatically incorrect. Comma needed there, comma needed there. Okay, that's the first one. So, and you could write something like Joe went to his friend's house. And then we could put right here wearing a white sweatshirt. So if you had this, again, this is extra information in here. Joe wearing a white, the sentence is Joe went to his friend's house. But here's the extra information. Okay, common rule number one. Number two is if you want to combine two independent sentences. Okay, so an independent sentence, subject, verb, you need to think about it as something that you could flat out walk up to me and say alone, and it would make sense. So if you could walk up to me and say, yesterday was senior night, I would be like, yeah, that's a sentence. Okay, yesterday was senior night. Great. If you walked up to me and said, hey, Mr. George, and I was like, what? And you were like, the volleyball team beat Ottawa Hills. Yeah. Okay, great. That's a sentence. Okay, that's fine. So what we have here is a sentence and another sentence, and you want to combine them. If you want to combine them, one of the methods to do that is to use a comma and a conjunction. You see right here, it's got to be a comma and a conjunction. And the fanboys, I think you and I talked about this in class. There's the conjunction choices. Okay, if you want to combine two independent sentences, comma and a conjunction is one choice. Okay, another choice is just a period. Obviously, they're two separate sentences. You could just join them with a period. This is if you want to add some sentence variety. So you have two independent sentences that you've written, and you want to go comma conjunction. So here we go. Yesterday was senior night, comma conjunction, and the volleyball team beat Ottawa Hills. Here's another one. My mind is always a mess. Could you walk up to me and say that? Hey, Mr. George, what? My mind is always a mess. Yeah, that's a sentence. It's a wonder I have decent grades. Yeah, that's a sentence. If you're combining two sentences, you can't just do it with an and, right? It's got to be a comma and an and. I'm thankful for my honors English and 10 classes. There's a sentence. My journalism students are awesome too. There's a sentence. Okay, comma conjunction, not just a conjunction. That is one option when combining two independent sentences. All right, and here's my 2 cents for you. I think you should only write sentences as we get going here in formats that you know are grammatically correct. All right, just a thought for you. All right, here's number 3. Look, we have independent sentence again, same thing. Another way to combine independent sentences is with a semicolon. Okay, so I wrote right here, semicolon equals comma conjunction. They are the same. We could even add equals period. Okay, these are 3 ways you can combine 2 separate sentences into one. So Joe wrote 2 excellent stories for the FHC Sports Report. That's a sentence. I could walk up to you and say that. Here's the second part. He received a perfect score on each. I could walk up to you and be like, guess what? And you'd be like, what? And I'd be like, he received a perfect score on each. Now, I get that it doesn't totally make sense unless we know who he is. but he's a subject. He is the start of that sentence, and it's fine. It makes it a complete sentence, even if we don't know who he is necessarily. This is still a complete sentence. So I have two complete sentences here, and I want to combine them. Well, we have options. I just taught you we could go comma conjunction. Absolutely, you can do that. But if you are in the mood, you can just go semicolon. Okay, and the best time to do it is if the second part of the sentence is like really follows closely behind the first sentence. Joe wrote 2 excellent stories for the FHC Sports Report. He received a perfect score in each. All right. Number 4, if you have two adjectives that you want to combine together, FHC has challenging, exciting teachers who make it fun to come to school and learn new things. All right, let's pick apart this sentence. FHC has challenging, exciting teachers. So we got a thing here. We've got two adjectives modifying teachers. They are challenging teachers and they are exciting teachers. It's not challenging, exciting. The challenging right here is talking about the teachers. They are challenging teachers. They are exciting teachers. Zion is a fast, explosive forward. Okay, he is a fast forward and he's an explosive forward. Well, guess what? If you have two adjectives talking about the same noun, you must put a comma between. So we need a comma right here. FHC has challenging, exciting teachers. All right. Now, we got a conjunction right here. See this conjunction? Anytime you write a conjunction or feel like you want to write a conjunction, and all the fanboys up here, I think you should do a check and make sure it does or doesn't need a comma. What's your check? Well, you look to the left side of the conjunction. I just taught you this. See if it has a complete sentence. FHC has challenging, exciting teachers who make it fun to come to school. Yeah, that's a sentence. Okay, well, then let's check the right part after the and. Learn new things. Okay, that's not a sentence. Learn new things. Who, how, when. Like, I want to learn new. There's no subject here. Learn new things. That's not a sentence. Because it is not a sentence, you do not have to put a comma here. If I added, I love to learn new things. Okay, now let's look at it. FHC has challenging, exciting teachers who make it fun to come to school, and I love to learn new things. Now, this has just become a sentence. I love to learn new things. Well, because it's a sentence, I have to have a comma before the conjunction now. This is the number one error that I see in all student writing is how to combine these two sentences. I'm really going to push you to learn this before you do your first writing. All right. Let's see. Rule number 5. I'll stop right here. Last way to combine two independent sentences. Same thing here. Independent, independent. Okay. Is if you want to do this cool thing that has a semicolon, then a conjunctive adverb, and then a comma. When I say conjunctive adverb, that's about the most grammatical term I'll ever use. You can Google it. Conjunctive adverb. There are many of them. Okay. However, is one of them. So here we go. I'm teaching some grammar. That's a sentence. Here's another sentence. Everybody's learning commas. Two separate sentences. Okay, how can I combine these? Oh my gosh, we have a variety of ways, right? Comma and. I've taught you that. We can do that. Oh, wait a minute. No. I want to go semicolon. Great, you can do that. No. I want to go period. Super, you can do that. All of those are legal. Here's a cool way to make you look like a better writer. And we'll go with therefore. And here we go. Two separate sentences. I'm teaching some grammar, and everybody's learning commas. Two separate sentences. I'm going to get rid of the bold here. Two separate sentences. Here's a cool way to combine them. Semicolon, conjunctive adverb, comma. Okay, it will, and I wouldn't do it a ton, but will make your writing look more collegiate. Joe ate a cheese stick before lunch. Meanwhile, he saved his, I just adjusted the sentence to teach you, his flaming hot Cheetos for 6th hour. All right, so we've got, if we take out this meanwhile, Joe ate a cheese stick before lunch. He saved his flaming hot Cheetos for 6th hour. This is a problem right now, right? Because we have two separate sentences that we're trying to combine. We know there's a variety of ways you can do this right here. That's what I've been teaching you this whole time. The way I'm teaching you right now is to go semicolon, however, comma, he saved his flaming hot Cheetos for 6th hour. Okay, this is another way to combine two sentences. All right, that's your first grammar lesson. I'll make some more, another video later for 6 through 10 on these comma rules. And it's not all the comma rules, but it's the ones where I see the biggest problems. So there you go, buddy. I will stop this video.